Hi, welcome to the next edition of Highlights, and we're going to be looking at the equity markets because they're either at or have broken critical support, and the next few days are particularly important as far as the prognosis of the equity markets is concerned. So, let me first go over this strategy. For those who have our educational resources, you have this on our DVDs, whether it's the essentials or the more advanced DVDs. We always review the basics on the DVDs, even with the advanced ones. And here we have the strategy called the Kraken Snap. And most of you are likely familiar with my background as the first to reveal candles to the Western world. But many of you may not be aware, I also have been using Western technicals since 1974. And in our resources, we go over my favorite Western strategies, including candles moving averages, candles and trend lines, candles and Bollinger Bands, candles and oscillators, and so forth. And one of the strategies that I like is what is called a Kraken Snap. And essentially, we have a horizontal support area. And once the support is broken, this old support should become resistance. Now, if the market bounces back above this broken support area, and the support area should be tested more than once, that's a short-term bullish signal called a Kraken Snap. Okay, the market cracks under support and then snaps back above it. And what's positive about this is it shows that the bears were unable to hold the new lows. So with this in mind, let's look at the S&P, and I'm recording this as of Wednesday after the markets close. So we have a support area here. Now, a hammer back in January, another hammer back in February, a piercing pattern in May, and the market just about held the support area on a closing basis on Tuesday, but today it definitely broke under it. So what I'd be keeping an eye on in the S&P is if the market cannot close above, let's say today's highs, let's make it 1050 to be safe. If the cash S&P cannot close above 1050, then that, to me, would confirm the bears are in control of the market. And my next support area, for reasons beyond the scope of the session today, or the highlights today, my next support area is down around 940 or 950. However, if the bulls can come back and get this market above 1050 on a closing basis, that to me would show that the bears were unable to hold the lows. And what that means is that if it does close above 1050, if it's solid, it should not get under these lows again, either on an intraday or especially on a closing basis. Now, this is the cash S&P. Interestingly, the Dow, just about held support at the lows here. Should probably made this blue line a little higher, but nonetheless, the low of the hammer here, a bullish engulfing pattern here, and the support level is just holding. So if the S&P can rally and close above 1050, that would be a Kraken Snap. If the Dow can also rally from here, that would be a positive or bullish confirmation the support is holding. But in spite of the fact that there's a support area here, there's no bullish candlestick signals yet. Notice there was a bullish engulfing pattern here, a hammer over here, so we'll have to keep an eye out over the next couple of days to see if there's any reversal signal. Notice how the market was when it was rallying here. You had a series of small real bodies showing us the bulls were losing steam, long upper shadow, and then a black real body to show the bears are taking over. Once again, the power of the candles, even individual candle lines, to understand the force or the lack of the force behind the market. And on the NDX, similar to the S&P, it broke a support area, and the support area around 1750 should become resistance now, and I would want to see the market close above 1775, in other words, the high from today, to say that the bears could not hold steam. But for right now, the bears are in charge. And obviously, even if the market closes above here, you have this window, falling windows resistance. Notice how this window, and this is what education is all about, all right? Notice this bearish engulfing pattern over here, confirming the window. So those who knew about the candles and how to use them correctly with what we call Nison candlesticks, candlestick training the right way, would have picked up on that negative signal. So with that, keep an eye on these particular levels. Next couple of days going to be very critical in the equity markets. Okay, hope you enjoyed this, and may the candles continue lighting your path to greater profits.